I am LordMaddog, and we are currently playing Kerbal Space Program. The last time our last episode, we upgraded our base on Minimus. We created a few parts and then produced them on Minimus. We didn't produce all of them, but yes, we upgraded our base on Minimus. And then off screen, I once again tried my hand at an SSA, a single stage aircraft, or an SSTO, which I have no idea what it stands for. So, yeah, I tried my hand at that. I didn't go anywhere. It didn't. I just. Uh, Once again, I failed. Okay, and then I checked out if we could upgrade our probe. Because we do have a higher upgraded probe with. So I made myself a little bit. Took our larger what do they call them, reactor and better engine, and try to see if I could get a little bit more delta V or thrust to weight ratio, and it turned out that I really couldn't. It just the added weight of the reactor really cut down on my thrust to weight ratio and my delta V, and it just couldn't really get better than what I have. So our probe is pretty good, so I'm going to leave the probe alone as it is. Okay, now though, we are going to go ahead and work on sending more resources to my base. Right now, there are certain things we can't create up there. They're like uranium and xenon and different resources that we can't create up in Kerbal Space Program. We also need more Kerbals to speed up production. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and make a ship that can send up more Kerbals and more resources. So let's go ahead and jump right on in. We're going to use as our base, I think, the actual mission. The actual mission we used, the mini base, to send the mission base. So we're going to go ahead and strip everything, and we're going to cut all the unnecessary parts out of there. We don't need that. No, we don't need, well, any of these really. We could, no. Well, they held 2. I could go with that. Or I could go with that. That holds 3. I could see what else. Oh, hey, this holds 4? Holds 4 Kerbals. Okay. Delta V 1000 now. Actually, you know what? I could go with that. Could switch to see if I can find a thing that switches over to it. Let's see here. No. Maybe I flip it upside down. No. Okay. Nope. You hear the background going. This is speed real fast. The music. Okay. So. No. Yeah, let's just go ahead and toss that entire top. We're going to go with the default, an actual. There we are, right here. Oh, there it is. I need to bring it back up. There we go. Go attach the crew cabin. Then just going ahead and attaching these on the side. There we go. We have 1.8 delta V. That's not that good. No. 3 thrust to weight ratio, but it's not really what we're after. Let's go ahead and go use our nuclear engines, because last time we barely made it there, so we're going to go ahead and use nuclear engines. I think we're better off using the nuclear engines. We might not have as high a thrust to weight ratio, but we don't really need that high of a thrust to weight ratio. Okay, we're going to need some monopellet. Here we little piece to connect on the back here. Fill out all my engineers. Oh, I don't have enough engineers to fill it out. Well, in that case, let's just go ahead and make it a little smaller. Yeah, well, there we go. Lots of delta V and a decent thrust to weight ratio. And we also have enough room to Yeah, I think this will work. change this ending though. A little bit more delta V. No, I don't need more delta V. Ooh, hey, look at this piece. Ah, interesting. Yeah, good delta V. And it also enables me to have a complete connection piece and supplies enough. Oh, we need monopellet. Yes, we're going to need monopellet. Yep, yep. No, we're just going to put 2 of them on the side right over here. Yep, yeah, that works. That looks nice. And then with monopellet pieces, this will enable us to, once we land, to, because I might have to, most likely had to pattern to slide across the ground like I've been doing, you know, like I did the first time anyway. All right, now we need an extra payload, so we got, well, we don't need that. No. All right. This is just, oh yeah, you need to, nope, sorry. Yeah, that's good. Mini crew. Ah, well, okay, I didn't add any payload to it. Alright, I thought I might add some, need one to add some payload to it, but we just mini crew basically. We were going to add a six to our crew up there. I'm going to go ahead and launch this here. If it doesn't blow up. No, it blew up. Yeah. No. That's hilarious. Let's take these out of here and try. It'll probably just blow itself up because of its own weight inverting and just boom. Oh no. Boom. I knew it. It just blows itself apart. Is he gonna do it again? He's gonna do it again? Shit. Trying to figure out what the heck is going on. I can't figure out what it's saying. No. No. Just blowing up. I'm trying to see if I can figure out how to stop that from happening. Really can't. Just gotta load and hope it doesn't blow up. That blew up again. Come on, don't blow up this time. Spontaneous combustion. Because it doesn't like physics. Something I did doesn't like physics, at least. There we go. That's be fine. It's better than the other setup I had anyway. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and launch. A successful launch. At least I think we're going to have a 6 launch. Why not? Oh yeah, we'll easily get into orbit. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that there. Go ahead and let this thing be able to be returned back down. Just blow away from that. Come around here. Actually get into... Here I make a small minor mistake. If it had... oh, why did I revert? I can't remember why. Oh, because my crew wasn't there. And I didn't have any. I forgot to. There we go, yes. And then I actually think I ran out of power and there was no crew. And then if I remember right, the same thing happens again later on. My crew decides that they don't want to come along. So here, I launch and my crew decides they want to abort. So I get all the way there with my, I remember this, yes, this is just horrible. I get there and I end up taking 2 Kermans instead of the 6 I was planning to take. A good 90. But you get the basic ideal. Because I end up sending lots and lots of missions of Kermans up there and different things, different resources. There we are. Get into a good orbit. Set as target. Maneuver planner, ad hominem. It doesn't want to do it either. I think it works. It's telling me it didn't work, but I'm pretty sure it did work. We got the message that it crashed down. And a 2-minute burn, because I don't have a high thrust to weight ratio. Don't really need it in space. It's nice though. So speed up the burn here. A little bit of wobbling. And it's going to take 2 days to get out there. And in the meantime, I think we're going to go ahead and do that there. Refine our orbit around Minimus. And there. Just fiddling with the nodes can be such a pain. There's a few different mods that makes it so you can better maneuvering node mods and different things. I like better maneuvering nodes, but at certain points you just end up with so many random odds and ends mods that you're not sure what's causing the problem with your save file corruption. And so I try to keep it down, because I frequently have save file corruption problems. So that's why I'll always back up my save files. And I don't know why it happens. Alright, so my power is done, and big power. Big power is done at mini base. So we're going to go ahead and spawn it here. Then once I figure out where it's at. It's not actually done. It takes 2 more days. Okay, why did it tell me it was done? I think this game actually kind of calculates wrong. It says things are done when they're not anywhere near done. I don't know why. It says it should be, but it actually ends up being a lot longer than it says. Like, it usually adds like an extra 2 to 3 days on stuff sometimes. So there we go. Get that done. There, now it's actually done. Like it says it was done last time. This time I actually think it is done. Oh, 2 hours. Come on. power is done. Finalize it. Boom, big power. Now we just need to go ahead and pull out our Kerbal and move it into the right position. As I said before, the last time, it'd be really nice if there was a VAB and that you could just have it go into VAB mode and switch rings around on your base, or actually anywhere in space. Anytime you just enter vehicle assembly mode, which then lets you change the vehicle assembly and enables you to have the Kerbals or the machinery you have equipped on it change how the ship is connected. And see, I'm trying to transfer over some uranium to these, but I can't because you have to wait till the reactor cools down. But I eventually get some uranium in them. I'm not sure if you guys saw me make these and put down there, but they're just basically two giant convertitrons, and I made them and put them and connected to that. I'm pretty sure you've seen that, but just in case you didn't, that's what that is. And once again, if you're going to build a base, I made a mistake with this base. As you see, I have multiple pieces already. I have tons of radiators. I have tons of different little add-ons in here and there. Like, instead of just one satellite, I have like 10 satellites. I mean, red dishes and tons of radiators, and instead of just one massive convertitron, I have like 5 or 6 convertitrons. I have 2 convertitrons, but eventually end up having like 5 or 6 there. So you don't want to do that. You want to use tweak scale, and you want to make objects as big as possible. It may take longer to produce, but in the long run, it's worthwhile, because otherwise you end up having tons and tons of lag from every piece that you have on there. And that's not just because of the physics. Physics is a big add-up, definitely. But the other thing is the polygon count, which is your models, and textures from the polygons. So your system lags instant your base loads. So if you're going to build a base, you're going to want to build it with big pieces. And eventually I'm going to have to trash my minimum space, because it will eventually lag down dramatically, and I'll have to figure out some way to replace it with just as minimal parts as possible. So yeah. We're going to go ahead and land. We have tons of delta V. Thrust to weight ratio is 10.81 here, so we're not going to have to worry about thrust to weight ratio here at all. We're going to go ahead and land. Begin our burn to land here. Execute burn. Bring it in closer. Refine our, there we are. Maneuvering node. Yes, I now have better, I didn't realize that this version, the one for the level 2 plane parts, had maneuver mode targeting, so it has the absolute best computer settings there is. I didn't know that until I just realized it just now. So you can select the maneuver mode and do it yourself there. and this is all at 4 times the speed. So you can imagine actually how much time this actually takes. It took me a decent amount of time just to launch and land one ship, which is all. Once I did it once, I had to do it like quite a few times, especially because this launch here actually ended up being a complete blow, complete waste of time and energy, because I only sent 2 Kerbals instead of 6, the 6 I had been wanting to send. So I actually end up having to reload and do that off screen, which I actually do. Not worth making. Might as well just let you guys see this, because I didn't realize that until I had already landed, and yeah. Here we go. I land with a massive amount of delta V left. Dang, I didn't realize I had that much delta V left. I have enough to go all the way back to. Here we are sliding. Now, you can slide up to 10 meters a second across the ground without blowing up. Anything faster than that, you're guaranteed to blow up. Ooh, and a little bit of bump. Not too big bad. No big bad. There we go. Just get a little closer. One more burn. There. Now we're going to go ahead and use our Milford. I think his name is Milford, right? Switch crafts. Jump to Milford. And bring. Oh no, I decided just to fly him on over and get him in. Crew hatch. Board, yay. Start rocket protection. Turn on lights. EVA. And as you see, there's only 2 instead of the 6 I had been wanting to send. There he goes, boarding. Turn. Oh, you can't. No, I had to switch over to actually let him board. There we are. That's my. What is that? I can't remember. Start refining metal. Okay. So yeah, I had to turn those things back on for some reason. Okay. Okay, yeah. Now we're gonna go ahead and. What am I doing? Trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing. $3 days on that thing. Oh, I think I decide to go ahead and send this up. Too heavy. Unlink. There we go. I decide to go ahead and send that thing back into space, because I don't need it here now that I actually have enough Kerbals. There we go. And see, I'm trying to transfer the crew out of there, but there's no crew in there because they didn't come along. Oh, I was so mad about it. Trying to figure out what happened to the other 4 Kerbals that decide to skip out on the mission. I spent like 15 minutes trying to figure out what happened to them. Where's my other Kerbals? Did they die? Did they blow up? What happened to them? No, they just didn't come along. Here, yep, I've completely figured out that no Kerbals. thought they had died when I landed or something, I ended up reloading and trying out tons of different things, trying to figure out what happened to my 2 Kerbals, my four other Kerbals, and didn't realize that they had decided not to come along. I've said that like times now, but yeah. Alright. So here I go ahead and try to load game, trying to figure out what happened to them again. Oh, it's horrible. Now where's the rest of my Kerbals? No, there's only 2. Yep, there was only 2. That's horrible, isn't it? Trying to bring 6 and only sent 2. Yeah. So there it is. I reloaded. I had to do it all over again. And this time I brought the full load of Kerbals, but I also brought some uranium with me, as you see. So I actually now have enough uranium to power my ships. So that's what I did. Okay, and this time that would be too short of an episode. It's I think there'd only be like 20 minutes. This time I'm not remembering what I was trying to do. Yes, power. I decided I was going to make a little power unit that I can send, because like I told you, I decided to ship my other my space station back into orbit around Minimus, because I didn't need it there anymore. I already used its productivity up, and then I wanted to have a space station in orbit around Minimus just because I wanted to. So I send mini station back into orbit around Kerbin. So after I go ahead and untitled spacecraft, yes, that's been there forever. It's a piece of craft that I forgot to destroy a long time ago. Anyway, here we are. Jump back in, go ahead and get it crafting my, where is it? Build. It will take only 4 minutes. Wow, that's a bit fast. Wow, I guess it is a very light. I was made it very, very light, so it wouldn't take very long. And I have 33 productivity here now, which dramatically cuts down build time. Finish. All right, so there it is. Transfer your rich uranium from that. Come on, transfer. Transferred. Did I do it? Yeah, I think I did it. It transferred it. Now I'm going to get Milford out, and he's going to take it. We're going to open this thing here. Ooh, don't destroy that. Okay. Make sure everything's right. Now we're going to get Milford out like I said we're going to do. We're going to bring him over here. He's going to grab this. Here. Come on, grab it. And we're going to stick it inside. Here somewhere. I thought I could stick it inside, or do I just stick it on the outside? It won't hurt if I do. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Alright. Yep, I stuck it on the outside. And we're going to ship. Come on, go in there. There we are. And activate. There we go. Now retract that so don't break it. We're going to spin this thing around and send it back into orbit around Minimus. Come on, up with you, up. Launch. I didn't realize I stuck it in a retrograde orbit. Oh no, I didn't. I decided to actually make it go in the right direction. get close to my apex, apoapse, and get myself into orbit. That's good enough. And once again, turn it into mini space station. There we are. And now that this base is now up and operational by itself, make sure it has all the science it can keep going. Transfer crew. I was going to transfer crew, but didn't. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and build. What are we going to build now? The probe. Yes, I decided to build my probe. However, that only takes an hour to build the probe, but I didn't realize this is the probe that I had edited, and when I so I have to gather enough uranium for it and start. These things here are full from my bringing up the uranium load. We're going exotic charge. I sped up time. Now we have exotic matter. No, it was electric charge, so exotic matter. So turn it all on. Make sure I have enough power for. I have like 5 nuclear reactors running right now. It's ridiculous. Also, the more moving parts you have, the more it's going to lag too on your base. So if you're building a base, once again, try to have as minimal moving parts as possible. So one drill, one big, scale it up to as mass as it'll go, and it'll supply enough ore for your base for almost anything you want. And then for your refinery, you want one refinery, and scale it up as big as it'll go with tweak scale. That'll make it so you can do anything. But power is a little different though, because as you see, these things don't scale with size. Now, if you're using interstellar mod, of course, those generate their reactors generate megawatts instead of electricity charge. They are supposed to also generate electrical charge. However, I have found that they're not to be very reliable at times. Sometimes it'll just stop generating electrical charge altogether for no reason, and you cannot get them to start giving electrical charge again for anything. I do not understand why that's happened to me. Maybe it's never happened to anyone else. Or it's happened to me quite a few times. Maybe I'm missing something, but yeah. So you're going to want to either have a massive battery, which can do. I mean, taking one of your batteries and tweak scaling it to max size, and it'll just take a long time to. Here, I'm transferring all my xenon gas into my probe here. At least I'm trying to. But I don't know yet, because this is my old self. I don't know that this probe was the one I had edited and didn't change back after I had edited, and so there's not enough electrical charge in this, so it cannot power the engine that's currently on it. So when I try to launch this thing, it doesn't go anywhere because it instantly eats up the electrical charge, even with the reactor I have on it. But back to what I was talking about before, which was, I can't remember now. Oh yes, electrical charge and big batteries. Like I said, you can do that. You can make one big battery, but remember, the bigger the mass of an object, the longer it takes to produce, to be made. Your production power, the more production it takes, the longer it takes. So you can build an electrical battery that has like I think like 20 gigawatts power stored up over time, or that can store up to 20 gigawatts, and then you can just build one massive gigantor. What are they called? One massive gigantic. Yep, I got all the xenon gas from that thing. One gigantic solar panel, and that works if you're on Minimus, because Minimus days aren't all that short, aren't all that long, or nights aren't all that long. So you can do that for certain things, and it may be better to do that if you're building a base. If you're going to go stock, definitely, yeah, if you're going to go stock and just have planetary, and have a simple build, or interplanetary launch pads, yes. All right, so as I finished transferring over my uranium that thing had collected. Surprising, that little collector thing there actually works pretty good for collecting uranium. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and release this here. So I'm going to give it all. See, I didn't realize I couldn't have to manually transfer. I could have just taken and transferred it all. Okay, boom, it's here. Now, though, as I said, I did not realize at the time that I had upgraded this, and it was the wrong one ship to use. Here was used to use it. Activate. Make sure my electrical charge is. I have to reload because I found out real fast that my electrical charge wasn't right. So I'm just going to leave that there because it doesn't do me any good. And I end up leaving that there forever because I actually use it to build up so I can instantly launch a pod instead of have to transfer over. And I think that's where we're going to quit for now. I'll see you next time. Once again, I want to look at this thing, but that doesn't turn out too well either. He don't go anywhere. He's just, yeah. All right. Now, like I said, I'll see you next time. LordMaddog signing off.